2022, you cannot focus on tactics alone. You cannot waste your energy just focusing on what everybody else is doing and what your classmates are doing and trying to keep up with them. Well, they apply to that school, I'll apply there. Oh, I know that school because it's local, I'll apply there. They're taking the GRE in 2 months, I'm gonna take it then. Y'all, you cannot do that. You are shooting in the dark. You're literally blindfolding yourself and hoping that the right school, no, like it does not work like that.
Turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the
Hey, what is up? How you doing? My name is Joseph Ngugi. I'm a physical therapist. I'm also one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, where we help you get into physical therapy school without wasting time or money. So if that's what you're looking for, you are on the right page. And this is a special video because we're doing it right before 2022 begins. And I'm going to talk to you about how to get accepted into PT school in 2022 using these 5 steps. And one thing that we've realized over the last 7 years of coaching students is the fact that we really can't cut corners. We can't BS our way through the application process. To be honest, what we think about the application process isn't even true or accurate, and that's why a lot of us feel like we're guessing our way through or holding our breath through the application process. And so I want to make sure that you are ready to absolutely kill it, whether you've applied before, whether you're planning on reapplying, whether you're in the thick of it right now. I'm going to share with you these 5 steps. And then if after listening to this, you're like, yo, this was super helpful, we're actually going to be doing a training breaking this down, literally showing you the blueprint that we have used to coach hundreds of our students that we have privately coached, literally the blueprint that we have used to help them get into PT school. Some of them starting with GPAs as low as a 2.4, some of them being rejected to as many as 15 schools before, getting rejected by all of them, and then the next cycle getting accepted into multiple programs. All of the impossible scenarios, we're literally going to show you what they did differently. So if you want that, go to leveluptheprept.com and save your seat for that. So let's dive in. How to get accepted into PT school in 2022 using these 5 steps. So write this down. Number one, focus on strategy before tactics. This is such an important one. So I've gotten on quite a few calls over the past few days. Like as I'm recording this, literally this week I've probably had at least 25 calls with pre-PTs who are trying to figure out where they were at and how to navigate through them. And a lot of the questions that I get are, should I retake this class? What should I do about the GRE? Or, they're very one-off questions. And to be honest, that's actually hurting you. If you're a pre-PT and you're like, I have these one-off questions, and I feel like I'm always kind of all over the place and I'm trying to figure out, but I never actually have a focused plan or a focused strategy where I know from start to finish what I need to do, then you're basically guessing without even realizing it. And that's what I call focusing on tactics. Right now, a lot of students that we work with who have had what we call impossible scenarios, and by impossible, what I mean by that is they've been told by other people, whether it's their advisors or their parents or other PTs, that their situation is just like, it's a no-go, just pick a different profession, find something else. That's what they've been told. So they've almost believed it, and then we've worked together and we've taught them our blueprint and they've gotten into PT school, right? And one of the first things is understanding that it's always like, you always have to focus on what the overall strategy is. What is my point A to point B, right? If my goal is to apply to PT school, feel confident as an applicant, get interviews and all that stuff, what do I need to be doing now to clarify that path for myself? How can I figure out what that path is for me? How can I figure out when I need to do things? How can I figure out why I'm doing those things, right? Because I think a lot of us, freak ourselves out because we're so busy focusing on what everybody else is doing that we don't even know what our personal game plan needs to be. And that's actually throwing you off, right? And so that's one of the biggest things. Focus on strategy before tactics. And like I said, if you're like, I don't know where my strategy is, I don't even know where to begin, go to leveluptheprept.com and we got you. We're gonna break it down. But in 2022, you cannot focus on tactics alone. You cannot waste your energy just focusing on what everybody else is doing and what your classmates are doing and trying to keep up with them. Well, they apply to that school, I'll apply there. Oh, I know that school because it's local, I'll apply there. They're taking the GRE in 2 months, I'm gonna take it then. Y'all, you cannot do that. You are shooting in the dark. You're literally blindfolding yourself and hoping that the right school. No, like it does not work like that. And that's how students who have told us, hey, I've applied. We had a student recently that was like, I applied 4 years in a row. 4 years in a row. And after that, they were like, I don't know if I can ever get in. Now, when they applied again, they ended up getting in because they understood this. So in 2022, focus on strategy first. If you want to know strategy, I already told you the link. Number 2, understand that the best way is always the fastest way. Now, here's what I mean by that. Another thing that I've really just been hearing a lot of with students that I've been talking to, we've been having Zoom calls, strategy calls, coaching calls, is a lot of students are like, okay, so I don't have time to retake this class. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time. Okay, so how can I work around this, Joseph? How can I work around that? And so what's basically happening is we're looking for shortcuts as students. And in 2022, if you want to get accepted into PT school, just understand that when you think a shortcut is going to get you accepted into a program faster, it usually takes longer. Does that make sense? And so a lot of times we're like, okay, like I don't want to worry about that. I don't want to worry about taking the GRE. I don't want to worry about taking this class again. I don't want to worry about doing the things that will make me more irresistible to the right schools. I just want to do what I want to do with a very short amount of time. And basically see what happens. And what happens is if you keep doing that, that's usually when we end up not focusing on the things that are actually attractive to schools, and we only focus on the things that we think we want to do. And then now we're frustrated because we're like, oh, the schools are not giving me a chance. They're not seeing how amazing I am. They're not seeing how hardworking I am. They're not seeing how much I love physical therapy. And that's usually when that happens. So number 2 is understand this. If you want to get to school faster, and this goes also when you're telling yourself, well, maybe I need to get another degree. Maybe I need to get a master's degree. Maybe I need to go be a PTA first. I mean, if you want to do those things, that's fine. But just ask yourself, is that the best way to become a better applicant? And if you don't know, I mean, like, we can teach you. So reach out to us. But just always know the best way is always the fastest way. So even though in the moment, if you're doing something, whether it's retaking a class, I'm going to keep it simple. If it's retaking a class, if it's, working on the GRE and figuring out how to get better scores on it, if it's learning how to actually study better, whatever that is for you, understand that even though it seems like it's taking a little bit longer in the moment, if it's the best way, it's always going to get you to point B faster. Because the other ways that seem a lot more attractive in the moment usually lead you all over the place, and in the long run you end up wasting more time. You end up having to potentially even reapply multiple times, because I've seen it a lot. And so for you, just ask yourself, am I following a plan because I think it's the shortcut, or am I doing things because I know it's the right thing for me to do in order to become a strong applicant? Does that make sense? And if you don't know how to do that, leveluptoprept.com. We got you. Okay, cool. Number 3, understand who you need to become. There's a statement that I use, and I'm actually going to use it during that training that I'll do, the one that you'll find at leveluptoprept.com. And the statement is this: as a pre-PT, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. So what I mean by that is this: all of us who want to get into PT school, all of us want to become physical therapists, but at the end of the day, you have to understand, who am I being right now? So am I being someone that is a procrastinator? Am I being someone that is quick to take in information? So I'll watch a video like this, but I won't act on it. Am I someone that is very, very negative, right? Am I always seeing the worst case scenario? Am I somebody that is, are the characteristics that I'm carrying on, are they actually designed to help me become a strong applicant, right? So same thing with sports, right? Athletes that are diligent, consistent, focused, they usually do better in the long run. Athletes that are not, even if they're talented, don't do as well in the long run. So in 2022, ask yourself, am I being the person that I need to be at my best? Am I being at my best as an individual? Because if I'm not, then I'm not even giving myself a shot to crush it. I'm not giving myself a shot to be consistent. I'm not giving myself a shot to show up. And now I'm basically on this pre-PT roller coaster where I'm always going up and down, stressing myself out. So that's number 3. Number 4 is this. Number 4 is you have to focus on the schools that you're going to apply to and know them better than they know you. Now, there's literally research studies where schools will talk about, they have studied pre-PTs for so long. They know you. They know why they have certain grade markers. They know why they want a minimum of a 3.0. They know why they want this. They've studied you. But the part that like baffles me is as pre-PTs, we spend very little time actually researching the schools and getting to know them. So in 2022, if you want to get accepted into PT school, you got to know these schools so well. Like so freaking well. Like you literally have to know them like the way you know like a really good friend, like a best friend or whatever. Like you've gotten to understand them, whether it's online, whether it's talking to people. Like, I'm telling you right now, if you don't have that mindset going into 2022, it's going to be very difficult to become an irresistible applicant. I'm telling, like straight up. And then point number 5 is this. Point number 5 is seek clarity first and then reverse engineer. So one of the mistakes that I see from a lot of students is when we're trying to get into PT school, we kind of figure it out when it's time to figure it out. So it's like, well, I don't want to worry about PT CAS and all that stuff until it's time for that. I don't want to worry about the GRE until next semester. I don't want to. So what happens is we end up kind of getting caught off guard. And usually we end up like behind the 8 ball. So for a lot of students the majority of students, we always feel like we don't have enough time to do the things that will help us become a strong applicant. And that's usually where we start blaming everybody else. Oh, my teacher this. Oh, my semester was too busy. Y'all, like we don't got time for blame. So ask yourself, am I crystal clear? And this goes back to strategy. Point number 1, right? Like, am I crystal clear on my strategy? And have I reverse engineered it? Have I been able to say, you know what? Because I have 6 months or 3 months or whatever, I know that if I can reverse engineer all the things that I know need to happen, I can create a game plan for what I need to do this week and next week and this month and next month and so on and so forth, so that I can constantly show up for myself. Does that make sense? Those are 5 things right now. I'm telling you right now, if you can start with that, you're already going to set yourself up to be a stronger applicant. Nobody's going to talk to y'all like that because everybody just tells you, just retake classes, retake the GRE, and that's it. Listen, that's cute. It's part of it, but I'm telling you right now, it's not everything. It really is not everything. So, and if you want to see our blueprint that we have used where we walk you step by step by step, go to leveluptheprept.com. We got you covered. And that's it. That's it. Let's get it, y'all. Let's make 2022 our year. Much love. We'll talk soon. And let us know in the comments below or reach out to us if you have any questions, and we'll go from there. Much love. Bye.